Henry Cavill. The man that should have been James Bond. I stand by it. I've said it. I don't care. All right. I said what I said. I meant what I said. And I stand by what I said.
I agree.
If you've not watched Man from U.N.C.L.E., that was absolutely his audition for James Bond. He was exceptionally good in Man from U.N.C.L.E. Suave, sophisticated, brutish when he needed it. It was a stellar performance and thoroughly good. And he just should have been James Bond. So before we get on to the actual topic, because he's revealing how close he came to playing James Bond, Andre, I know we've spoken about Man from U.N.C.L.E. before. What are your thoughts on Henry Cavill being James Bond?
I think that he would be amazing as Bond, and there are so many other things he could be amazing as well. Here's the thing, though. I'm kind of glad that he won't be Bond, because I don't think that this new iteration of Bond movies, certainly the way that they're spoken about right now, that they're going to update him even more, that they're going to make him more of a soy boy, with all of those things. I think that I'm really happy that Henry Cavill won't waste his talents on Bond.
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, they have said that they are going to be modernizing. He's going to evolve with the modern times. So yeah, he's going to be a bit of a bitch, basically.
Yeah, I agree with what Andre was just saying. As far as Henry Cavill himself, I mean, I've always thought since I saw Man of Steel that he should play James Bond. I think he would do the role justice, but it just goes back to the people involved with making the stories around James Bond now, and that's really where my concern would be. But as far as him playing the role, I think he would have killed it.
Yeah. Latino slant, Paulie.
Well, I feel as a Latino, I can't comment on this. Just like white people can.
Yeah, but that'd be cultural appropriation. Sorry.
Yes, so I'm gonna take the low road in a low rider, as they say. And I love Henry. I love Henry. I think what's unfortunate is, and I think we're coming out of it, is his talents have had to suffer for all this, stupid overwoke, productions and reimaginings of things. And thank God he's going to come back and get another crack at Man of Steel, Superman. But it would have been amazing to have him as James Bond, but not the Craig Bond, and not what Andre's talking about. But OG, I'll even take Pierce Brosnan type of Bond, But yeah, those are my.
Well, he's not ruled it out entirely. He's actually revealed that he'd still be keen to play 007 down the line. But in this discussion with Josh Horowitz, he had an interview and he said, "They told me I was close. They told me it was ultimately down to, and this is what I've been told, it was just down to me and Daniel Craig, and I was the younger option. They obviously went with Daniel, and I think it was an amazing choice to go with. So let's just analyze that first and foremost. One, if they'd actually went with Henry, they would have had him for longer. Because now they're talking about having a very young Bond, they've said. Someone that's not super old. So that seems counterintuitive. It's almost like they're learning from their mistakes. I know, weird. The Hollywood machine is evolving. It's become conscious and sentient. But what do you guys think of that? Being the younger option, and they gave it to Craig because he was the older one. Especially now, again, given the fact that they flip-flopped and said so much that they are looking for a younger Bond. Andre?
I'm really glad that they went with Craig, to be honest, because
I think he was a good Bond in bad movies.
That's what I mean. There were two, in my view, Casino Royale and Skyfall were really, really good. And everything else was utter rubbish.
Was Skyfall the one with Javier Bardem in it?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah,
so I'd agree.
Those are the two good ones, and everything else is rubbish. And if Henry Cavill had done that, he would kind of have been a little bit typecast as Bond, I think. I don't think that he would have gotten certain other things. Like, he may not have gotten Superman. So I'm really, really happy that he didn't end up being Bond. And also, I would argue that at the time, in 2005, when this would have been, he was too young. He was too young to be Bond.
How old was he back then?
Well,
mid-20s, isn't it? I think.
Yes, something like that. He would have been too young.
5, yeah.
Because the thing with Daniel Craig, he already had some life experience, far more than someone in his mid-20s would have had. So I think Craig, of the two, in 2005, when the choice was made, of the two, he was the right choice. Fast forward 10 years, and Henry Cavill, on paper, would have been the right choice. But now we know they made the wrong movies more than they did not.
True.
So I'm really happy that he didn't get it, and I don't want him to see him be Bond. He got his Bond in that other spy movie, and I'm quite content with the Man from U.N.C.L.E., I mean, and I'm quite content with that. And now let's see him do other things. But Nick, I believe you were saying something.
Oh, I was just gonna say that that I agree with what you're saying, Andre. As far as looking back on it now, it would have been like, okay, he would have been the perfect Bond, and they could have kept him around a lot longer. But then, like you were saying, he would have been typecast, and who knows if he would have gotten very many other roles outside of that. A lot of his main focus would probably be on making just the Bond movies themselves. So for him, I'm not sure if he thinks or looks at it that way, but he's probably happy with where he's at regardless.
Also, I don't know that we would have gotten... Yeah, sorry, carry on, Paulie.
Really quickly, guys, like 350 people live in the chat, only like 100 and some odd likes. Smash it right now, because you guys are the only ones that can help this live stream get out, because YouTube does not help us. So you guys help us right now. Hit the like. It cannot tell you how important that is. Thanks a lot.
Indeed. And as I was saying, just even if he had been cast, he may have been younger, but that doesn't automatically mean that he would have been Bond for longer. Because the standard Bond contract is for, I believe, 4 movies with options after that. 3 or 4 movies plus options.
I think it's 4,
and by the time he got to his movie number 4, would they be able to afford him for movie number 5, 6, 7? And would he even want to do that? Or are they going to have to reboot Bond when he's still really, really young, just for purely contractual reasons? Again, I think that getting a too young Bond is a bad move, just for that reason.
Well, interestingly, he sort of says something similar to that effect, anyway, about age and stuff. So he says, I probably wasn't ready at the time. I think Daniel did an incredible job over the past movies, so I'm happy they made that choice. It was a fun adventure at the time and definitely gave a boost to my career. That was the key element of it. I was getting a lot of auditions, which I went to, which went really, really well. And then he closes out with, whether I'm considered for the role or not, I don't know, but it would be fun to have the conversation for sure. If I'm not, then I just want to see what they do with it next, because I think Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson are amazing. I'm always impressed with how Henry handles himself in interviews. Very, very gracious and almost sort of, politician-like. Just very down the line, very, very gracious, humble, knows exactly what to say. All of his interviews are always good. A professional through and through. But again, he comments on basically what everyone has said about the age and not being ready at the time. But considered in future, what do we think about him maybe being Bond in the future? Yay or nay?
Nay.
Yeah, I'm going nay at this point also.
My heart is yay, but my head is no.
Yeah, no, I would agree. He would make a really good Bond if the writers were not the writers that we have now, or the direction that they're going in now with James Bond. But I thought that would be, yeah, interesting to sort of explore nonetheless.